Good day, everybody. Let me get my settings set up here. Mic check, mic check. How's everybody doing? Long time no see. Back for another wonderful stream. Got a little special mixture today. Look at what we got here. We got an avocado, everybody. An avocado fruit. That's the key. So yeah, I decided to experiment with a little avocado. It's just something I haven't eaten in a couple years. I used to eat avocados before I got on this diet, and what I'm doing now is I've been experimenting a lot with. Well, actually, before I get into that, if you guys want to get on the Primal Pet Food Club list, email me, or the stream notification list where I email you before every stream. Email me. Or if you want a private Skype consultation, email me for that as well. So, get that out of the way. Basically, yeah, what I'm doing now is I've been experimenting a lot with fasting again. And I went 2 days this week, and then I broke my fast with a pretty big meal, a bunch of actually cooked barbecue, because I was going out to eat with a friend. So I ate a bunch of cooked barbecue this week, no problem. It was just 1 day. And then I went and did another 3-day fast after that. Because I basically just wasn't hungry, but I'm also trying to experiment a little bit with it. And so, let me get my music going here just a sec. And so, I've always been pretty intrigued with the snake diet guy, this Cole Robinson dude. But I've always been a little bit skeptical just because of what he eats, because I'm always a raw meat eater, and I feel that that is the best diet that you can possibly put in your body. And so I was always a little bit skeptical because he never ate raw meat, never ate raw dairy, and he kind of just talked about going to buffets and stuff like that. And so I kind of tuned him out for a little bit. But what he says about fasting, I think, is really interesting, because I've always had incredible benefits from fasting, and I've had no negative experiences with it. I've gone many times 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. I've even gone up to 10 days at one point, and I was perfectly fine. And so someone on Instagram mentioned that they noticed that I looked a little bit overweight, and also my dogs as well. And at first I kind of took the criticism a little hard. I didn't know if they were trolling me or what. But after kind of second reflection, I started realizing that they were right. They were absolutely right. And they started mentioning that basically they don't think anybody in the raw meat or carnivore community is doing this correctly, to where nobody has basically like, not everybody's like chiseled up, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gets kind of bulky, some people put on weight, some people just whatever. And so I kind of took that seriously, and I realized that he was probably right, because for about 6 months now, I've had a suspicion that the ideal diet is combining raw primal with fasting. Feasting and fasting, but while you're feasting, you're eating raw meat. I feel like that is like the key. I really do. Because it seems like it's combining two very powerful things, two very extremes into one. And so I went basically 5 days out of 6 not eating this week. I feel great. I lost some unhealthy weight around my waist, just kind of extra weight and stuff. Profound benefits during my fasts. I feel great when I'm fasting. It gives me excellent mental benefits. Clarity, super clarity. Like I can just see my life like perfectly when I'm fasting. There's like nothing clouding my mind at all. I can work through any kind of problems that I'm having easily while I'm fasting. There's nothing holding me back. And so what I'm going to do, I believe, is I'm going to experiment with 72-hour fasts. And I'm going to do that until I get down to basically ripped status. And right now, I'm basically at about 197. To give you a reference, I was about 220 in the wintertime. 215, 220. And I was drinking a lot of dairy, milk, and stuff like that. Once I got off of milk, I started kind of shedding that unhealthy weight, and I've been feeling better and better as I go. So I'm about 197 right now, and I might fast down to as low as 190, just depending, because I actually still have a little bit of fat around my waist, which is interesting. I'm about in August I'll be 2 years on Raw Primal. So I've been healing my body with just a variety of nutrient dense and bacteria dense foods for 2 years now. I feel like I'm pretty much healed up. If I had any kind of gut permeability, my gut is healed up at this point. So, and I'm also very experienced in fasting. I've done many multiple day fasts, like I said, 3, 5, 7, 10 days, multiple times. So my body is kind of trained to do that. And so I'm going to start experimenting with that now that my body's healed and my nutrient stores are filled up. And I'm going to go 72 hours. After this meal, I'm going to go set another 72 hours, and then I'm going to refeed. But the idea is you want to fast until natural hunger. And that's what I find fascinating about this, is that I'm not even naturally hungry right now, and I haven't eaten all day. And I fasted for 3 days before yesterday, believe it or not. So I'm not even hungry. It's interesting. Like, my hunger is not telling me to eat. I'm actually eating just out of pattern and compulsion, basically. So I'm starting to really become disciplined with that, and it's one of like the final kind of few disciplines in my life that I'm trying to hone in on. And so I'm trying to fast until natural hunger, and natural hunger actually is when you start like fantasizing about food. When you start having like daydreams about it, and when you start dreaming about food, that's when you're getting naturally hungry, in my experiences. So it happened yesterday. I started getting naturally hungry, so I broke my fast with bacon. I ate a pound of bacon yesterday, believe it or not. And I ate some butter, mostly fat. And I also, during my fast, I actually read 2 books. One of the best books I read was this book called The Best Thing in the World. Good Health, How to Keep It for 100 Years, a record of the most wonderful fast in the world's history. And if you guys have been following my streams, you've known that I've recommended the book Fasting and Man's Correct Diet by R.B. Pearson. Well, this book was in the bibliography for Fasting and Man's Correct Diet, which is why I ordered it. So this book actually inspired R.B. Pearson to write his book Fasting and Man's Correct Diet. And what it is it's a book full of diary entries of a man that fasted for 45 days straight. And he worked 12 to 18 hours a day. It's an amazing book, man, because this guy is like unbelievable writer and descriptive writer. This is the photo he took the last day of his 45 days right there. Just look how happy that guy looks. But this book is awesome, man. I really recommend this. And I'll read a little bit out of the back here because how he finished off this book is just amazing, man. He brings up some profound stuff. These guys were really deep, man. These guys that wrote in the 1900s, these guys were really, really deep people, man. They were very like in touch with God and stuff like that, which is very different from today. Everybody's kind of anti-God. These guys were very much in tune with God and the Spirit. And so you can tell in the way they write that that they're just well-rounded people. So this is what he wrote in the back here. There's some other books that he recommends here that I'll tell you guys about. Perfect Health by Charles Haskell. That's another book to check out. That book inspired this book. I'm trying to get to the good part here at the end. Here we go. The one thing about this book I will tell you though, guys, is this guy was not a big fan of eating meat. So you got to kind of look past that. Everybody's not perfect, man, but what he says about fasting is profound. I think a lot of their meat was tainted back then. This guy didn't like doctors at all either. Let's see here. I'll just read you like a little bit of his diary here. This is like towards the end of his fast. Monday morning, May 22nd. All is well. Sleep dreamless and prolonged for 7 hours. After riding until midnight as usual in smiling skies and air redolent with the breath of the coming summer, all combined to make the beginning of the new and busy week welcome. Surely the long-delayed hunger will assert itself before many hours, and the wonderful machine in which I live will find all the wheels oiled, repaired, adjusted, moving on in every capacity with renewed life and strength and rhythm in the old and natural way. A reperusal of the book Perfect Health reassured me as to the safety and prolonged fasting. So many well-authenticated cases are referred to and proven there beyond a doubt. It is many a day since fear has dominated my consciousness for a moment. I know in whom I have believed. The infinite source of life is within and around me. I have only to reach out and gather it. It fills me with strength. The air is charged with it. I take into it my being with every deep breath I draw, and I breathe deeply all the time. I tense the muscles of the body according to the teachings of Professor Farmer of New York, whose own experience in the scientific way of living raised him from hopeless conditions from the medical standpoint into the health and joy of mental and athletic perfection. More and more I realize that there is no excuse for sickness and no need of it, that drugs should never enter the human stomach, that to be well born is the grandest heritage, and that life well begun and lived in the early years is an open sesame to a century of happiness on earth, and a glorious start on the endless voyage through all the centuries to come. I don't believe life should be of few days and full of trouble, nor should our years be spent as a tale that is told. Why should all be vanity, and what good reason is there that we should pass away? With health, all else is possible. Every breath we breathe is happiness, and happiness is heaven. And this is the world to stay in just as long as we can be of any use in it. This guy, he was such a good writer, man. But yeah, that's just one of his entries, and he did daily entries for 45 days. And then also, this guy, so he was a big fan of Charles Haskell. And Charles Haskell was famous author that wrote about fasting, and he wrote this guy every day. These guys wrote each other by letters every single day. And this is the type of stuff that Charles Haskell was writing him. Let's see. Okay, dear friend, your good letters of the 28th and 29th in your postal all yesterday all received. You are indeed having a most blessed experience, one that you will never forget. You are realizing something of the power that came to Jesus during his fast of 40 days, and as you go on this fast every day, your power will increase. The number 40 is a very remarkable number. It means a perfect human experience. I note what you say in regard to your heart, and that your pulse is good and strong at 60. You should forever dismiss from your mind that fasting will affect one's heart unfavorably. I know this thought of weakness through fasting has been planted in the minds of the people, but it is a very great error. Instead of one's heart growing weaker by fasting, it will always increase in power, provided one does not allow fear in his mind to weaken his whole body. And then, of course, his heart will be weakened with all the rest. You are making stronger, richer, and purer blood than you have ever made before. That being the case, your heart will increase in strength because it is better fed through the blood. Should one fast until the starvation point, which would be more than 100 days, it would be found by an autopsy that the vital organs, the heart, the lungs, and the brain have not diminished a particle. All the rest of the body is drawn upon to make blood and supply those vital organs. The fat will go first, and then muscles, etc., and those vital organs will never diminish in strength or in size through fasting. I hope I have said enough on this point to impress you so that you may dismiss not only from your conscious mind, but from your subconscious, any fear, whatever, concerning the heart being weakened. It is not possible to weaken it by fasting, and it will, while fasting, only be weakened by fear in the mind. I should be very glad indeed if I could be with you occasionally and help you while you are having this splendid experience. I have not the least doubt that if it was made clear to your mind that it would be a wise thing for you to fast for 100 days, you could do so with perfect safety, but it would all depend on the condition of your mind. As long as you are feeling as you do now, or when you wrote your last letter in your postal, I would certainly advise you to continue the fast, and when you break the fast and begin to eat, I advise you to eat very small meals, taking small bits at a time and masticating them very thoroughly, and I am confident that by simple eating in the future you will enjoy a great abundance of the fullness of life and have greater success in everything that you undertake. I would certainly continue the fast until I had taken off that 5 pounds of surplus fat. Keep nothing that does not belong to you. Thou shalt not steal, and if there is anything in you that belongs to the earth, give it back, for you will be better and the earth will be richer. As to the advice of those parties who know what the bad effects will be from the fast, they are simply talking through their hats. They know not whereof they speak. It is simply guessing, and you can guess as well as they. I know that there are never any unfavorable effects from a fast, but always favorable, and you will know the same after you have had the experience that I have of nearly 11 years under true scientific living. You are now on your 23rd day, and 25 days will soon have passed. We will then see how the Spirit moves within you. I send you my strongest vibrations of pure love and hearty congratulations on what you have already accomplished, and the strong desire that you may go on as long as you will receive benefit. Yours for the salvation of our race from sin, disease, and death, and in perfect health, Charles Courtney Haskell. Yeah, Charles Haskell's a great writer too, man. I ordered his book. So yeah, that's a great book, guys. Check that one out. This is another book that I finished. It's called, you guys saw this on my community tab, Vaccines, Autoimmunity, and the Changing Nature of Childhood Illness by Thomas Cowan. This is a good one, man, because this guy's like a total genius in the sense that he knows how to write very simply and explain stuff very easily. And this one's about autoimmunity, autoimmune diseases. He gets into a lot of like cell biology, vaccine fallacies, and then he has like a treatment protocol in the back, which is really interesting, where he gets into what foods you need to eat and stuff like that, which is pretty close to what we're eating here, but he recommends vegetables, which I'm not a big fan of, but he recommends pretty much everything else that we talk about. And he even talks about fermenting meat in here too. So this guy's a legend for sure. But if you guys are familiar on vaccines and stuff like that, then this will be very interesting to you because he explains it. He kind of goes over that same stuff, but he has a lot of different interesting viewpoints on it. So check those books out. All right, I'm getting hungry here, actually. This food's sitting in front of me. So yeah, I'm checking out avocados. Let me get to the chat. Sorry, I'm ignoring you guys. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Chicken Jar, C. Cooper, T. Mueller. I'm guessing it's Mueller, right? Correct me on that if I'm wrong. I always say T. Mueller. I'm an idiot. I'm assuming those two dots mean it means Mueller. Everything's going good. Good to see you. You left a pound of fresh ground beef in your room for 2 hours. Now it's in my fridge. Yeah, you're fine. Just give it a smell. JP wants to know if this is the Frank Tufano stream. Close enough, dude. Close enough. You're in the right place. What's up, OG Reinhard? How did you get the Hulk testicles? From my butcher. Yeah, Cole's tried raw meat. I saw that, but I'm talking about like eating raw meat as in like every day. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that video where he eats raw meat, but it was only like momentarily. I was very interested in why he kind of quit that. Kai Solis says, I heard what Cole promotes can destroy your gut bacteria. No, fasting is ridiculously powerful, man. It's been around for thousands of years, and it's like a natural part of our eating cycle. You gotta try it, man. I recommend everybody try it. Fast for 72 hours, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You've never experienced life like you've experienced life on a fast. That's all I can say. The mental clarity is unbelievable. It boosts your hormones up. I had like a really good workout session last night and put on actually a lot of muscle just in one day, just kind of lifting. or it like toned me up very well. So it boosts your hormones, stuff like that. It boosts your growth hormone, testosterone. It's very healthy for you, man. What's up, Joseph? Yeah, fasting is its oldest time, guys. Yeah, 7-day dry fast will get you dreaming about food. That's what I'm talking about. You'll wake up like drooling and stuff. That's when you know you've reached natural hunger. What's up, Ginkgo? Yeah, I'm gonna try this vegan diet real quick. I haven't had an avocado in like 2 years, guys. This is gonna be fun. Tastes just as good as I remember it. I like avocado, man. Avocado's a fruit, guys. You can eat fruits. Very good. Looking forward to it. So what I'm gonna try to do now is eat like really fatty stuff. I'm gonna cut back on my protein just a little bit, which means I won't be eating so many organs, but I'll eat just a little bit of organs, and I'm gonna eat a lot of fat. I really think this is the way to go. I think eating like super fatty meals like this, you're talking over a pound, half pound of bacon, brains, butter, and an avocado. That's a lot of fat, man. And then fasting after that. And then when I break my fast, I might break it with some organs, maybe some more fat and stuff like that. But I'm still learning, guys. I'm still like evolving into this diet. I really think I'm onto something here with this whole natural diet thing. It's just a matter of fine-tuning all the quirks and stuff like that, getting myself dialed in, which is why, if you guys notice, I don't make a lot of videos, because I'm learning. Like, I'm learning so rapidly, and I'm picking up so much stuff as I go, even 2 years into this, that I don't want to make a bunch of videos that I regret later on and go, oh shit, I taught these guys the wrong thing. So it's just kind of, these live streams are the way to go, because you guys can kind of watch me as I go and learn and change my diet. You guys have seen me go from mostly muscle meat to adding fruit to adding a lot of organs. Now I'm back to eating a lot of fat with fasting. So kind of playing around with it. And so far this fat and fasting thing is really working out great. Yeah, fasting with not eating meats or not eating like fatty stuff is a bad idea, for sure. The fine line where fasting is okay, but you'll hit the point where you'll get high cortisol and you can't even fall asleep. Yeah, I was getting kind of, on my 3rd day there, I got kind of really bad sleep that night, and so I knew it was kind of time to break my fast. But you'll sleep great for like the first few days. Have you read The Fasting Cure by Upton Sinclair? I have heard of that one, but I did not order it yet because I'm reading all these other books. But yeah, if you want to send it, it'd be great, man. What's up, Chicken Jar? Guys, this avocado is delicious, man. Can't believe I skipped out on avocados for 2 years. It's freaking good, man. Mmm. Oh, I've always pronounced it correctly. Okay, T. Moeller. Good deal. Yeah, I understand Cole has tried raw meat, guys, but he eats it like buffets and stuff. He's not a raw meat eater. You know what I mean? Like a raw meat eater, like eats raw meat like every day. I understand he kind of experimented with it and stuff, but I thought he was really onto something with that, and I'm just surprised that he didn't dive deeper into that. But I want to see Cole eat raw meat every day and do his fasting thing, and then come talk to me, because that's what I'm about to do, and I'm about to steal all his subscribers. Don't tell him though. But I'm seriously about to combine the snake diet with my diet and get to a point of ridiculous health. So stay tuned, fellas. I don't have access to raw butter. Should I eat raw bone marrow instead? As long as it's unvaccinated. Life slows down when you fast. You are more confident. You appreciate life more. It's great, man. Yeah, it's a great feeling. Yeah, I haven't been eating enough fat, guys. If you notice, my meals, it's a bunch of meat and just a little bit of butter. You know what I'm saying? And some eggs and stuff like that. I don't think that's the way to go. I think the way to go is something like this. Like a half pound of bacon, avocado, butter, some brains, and then maybe a little bit of like protein, but I'm not craving protein right now. So we're gonna go with fat for a while, especially while I'm fasting. Nice, you got an avocado tree in your yard. You're lucky, man. Yeah, this is some quality pastured pork. This bake is it's cured, so it's got a little bit of stuff in it that I'm not really 100% approved of. It's actually got sugar, brown sugar, maple syrup in it, and salt, and some sodium nitrite. So this isn't like completely raw, uncured bacon here, guys, but it's freaking delicious, I'll tell you that. And I ate a pound yesterday, and it digested fine. So it's not something I'm going to eat all the time, but I just ordered 4 pounds from my my pastured farmer. Yeah, I've eaten raw like this for 2 years now. It'll be 2 years on August 1st, or probably more like July 31st. That was my first video I made. Wouldn't it be better to quit eating fruit if you're trying to lose weight? Yeah, I've probably eaten too much fruit too. That's a good point, but I don't think it would be better. I think fasting is the way to go, because it gives your body a chance to rest for a little bit. It gives your digestion a chance to rest. For some people, for the first time in their life, your body devotes a lot of resources towards digestion. And when your body's doing that, it doesn't have a chance to repair other parts of your body. So when you fast, your digestion completely ceases, and your body goes to start repairing other parts of your body, other parts of your organs, and it starts getting your hormones more in place as well. So there's a lot of processes that happen when you actually stop eating. And a lot of people are missing out on that, man, because they're eating every day, or they're eating 3 times a day. And believe it or not, I do believe eating every day is too much. It's interesting. There was a point a few months back where I thought eating 1 meal a day wasn't enough, so I went to eating 4 meals a day. But as you can see, I'm just tracking my progress, and I'm putting on weight. My energy's going down. I was having energy issues and stuff like that, and so my energy went way up when I fasted, and it always has. And just so I think I'm gonna try to lean up and see what happens there. I don't think I'm gonna quit dairy completely though. I'm gonna keep eating butter. Yeah, seafood's good. I got a bunch of frozen fish in my freezer. Andrew Graff eats a big lump of suet fat every day. Yeah, I'm gonna order like a bunch of fat from my pastured farmer here next time I meet up with him. I've really been missing out on fat. I kind of dived into it a little bit at the beginning, but I've been straight away from it. Ridiculous health, the goal, my friend. Absolutely. A ridiculous state of health. I think the Native Americans didn't go bald because they ate lean meat, deer, squirrel. What makes you think that? Beef short rib? I can get beef short rib for sure. Cut the bone out and grind it? Interesting. What do you grind it with? 2-year anniversary raw primal pizza party? For sure. I'll make some raw primal pizza. It's easy, man. Sourdough bread. Tomatoes, which is a fruit. Raw cheese. Raw meat. There you go, man. Raw primal pizza. Lean wild meats, they're good, definitely. You still might want to supplement some fat. How much do I think fasting can combat the effects of eating meat and fats from vaxxed animals? I think the only problem with vaccinated animals is eating like the marrow and stuff like that. So I don't know if they store in the fats at all. For that's something that I don't know for sure, but Aajonus said that it stores in the marrow. But fasting is definitely, I think, one of the best ways to detox your body, man. I had a bunch of shit come out of my skin on my fast this week. Pimples on my forehead, all over my body. I had stuff coming out of my skin. My body was cleaning house, definitely. Hormone issues stem from the gut. That makes sense. Let's get on this bacon here, boys. This stuff is the best. T. Miller says next Saturday we're going to get 4 raw testicles, 100% grass fed. Hope my son likes it. Nice. Yeah, they're good. Not bad at all. Aajonus said fruits detox, but what about them are detoxifying? Good question. Offhand, I'm not 100% sure how to answer that. Because berries detox as well. I don't know. Maybe it's just something in the molecular structure, the chemicals of it that bind towards certain things like metals and stuff. Maybe it's because there's a lot of minerals. Minerals bind with metals, possibly. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here. That'd be a better question for Mr. Aajonus, the autistic genius. Making you hungry, huh? Stay strong, my friend. Stay strong. Camille says, what do you think about Frank copying you with music in the background? Dude, he's copied my streams. He bitches about everybody stealing his content, but he's totally copied my format, dude. That's okay. He should take a little advice from me, because I'm not a fucking retard like him. You know what I mean? Like, that dude just drives away his subscribers by just being a retard. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Frank, watch my streams and take a little advice from me, man. Don't be such a dumbass. He should look up to me like a big brother, because I'm a lot older than him. It's a good idea, though, isn't it? Music? It's the best. Snake Diet has sodium in its packets. I don't eat salt, no. A little bit of salted cheese because I have to, because I couldn't get unsalted, but I'm gonna make my own here soon. Other than that, I don't like salt at all. This bacon has a little salt in it too. Not a big fan of it, man. I can't stand salted cheese anymore. It just like burns my throat. Raw bacon is some of the best, guys. Regular meat grinder that I got for 50 bucks. Just cut short rib and grind it. Really? So it grinds bones? Okay. That's a good idea, man. What do you think about electrolytes during fasting? It's probably a good idea to supplement. Yeah, I drink mineral water. So I've never dry fasted before. I like to drink a little bit of mineral water. It's probably a good idea. I went 0 carb for 2 weeks to get rid of candida and dandruff, and just caved and ate an ice cream and 2 Twix bars, a Snickers, and a beer. Did I just take myself back to ground zero? It's so hard. You'll be all right. Don't judge yourself for it, man. Just get back on the road to success. Get back out there, kid. Did it get rid of the candida and dandruff though? I've never had veal organs yet. Well, I've had lamb. It did taste pretty good. I've had lamb liver and brains and stuff. How does pork taste? Good. I have a hard time describing like flavors, but this is good, man. Yeah, pork does taste a little bit better than beef sometimes. Frank Tufano is gay. What are your thoughts? I don't really have any thoughts on it, one or the other, man. That's his personal business. It's not a surprise. Let's put it that way. Rose, serious question. Why does everyone hate Frank? I don't watch his vids, so I don't know, but I'm curious. It's hard to explain, but he's just he's got some serious like personality disorders, and it really comes out strong on a lot of his videos and stuff, and very like narcissistic. If you've ever known a narcissistic person, they're really hard to be around. Did you stop eating salt when you started eating raw 2 years ago? Sorry, I'm laughing at Sirius's comment. Did you stop eating salt when you... Yes. I kind of experimented off and on with it. Because I don't just take people's word for this stuff, guys, and you guys should not either. You should never take my word for the Bible or the gospel. You need to experiment for yourselves, and you need to go eat foods, eat salt, and all that shit, and find out for yourself. And you'll find out that you don't like salt after a while, you know? But I kind of added salt in periodically because I started having like leg cramps and like little spasms and stuff, so I felt like my electrolytes were low. So I started adding more salt in. I wasn't eating enough seafood, stuff like that, because seafood has a lot of sodium. So I kind of added it in just to make sure that I was getting enough. I'm going to fast forward this song. It's kind of annoying. Oh, this is all violin. I see. I think I'm gonna change this, man. I'm really not digging the violin. Just a sec, bear with me here, guys. All right. Yeah, but basically I did stop eating salt, for sure. It's kind of hard to eat here. I couldn't find Aajonus talking about hearing loss. A lot of my family members have severe hearing loss at middle age. What could be a raw primal explanation? It could be degeneration. It could be a sign of like genetic degeneration. Like they inherited actually like bad DNA in their hearing receptors, cochlea, whatever you want to call it. Especially if a lot of your family members have it, it's probably degeneration. Not necessarily a raw primal explanation, but yeah, Weston Price explanation. You need to cut out the bone, it's easy. I guess I'm confused in what you're saying. I thought you were saying grind up the bone marrow. So I was kind of confused how you're grinding up the bones. Weren't you talking about grinding up bone marrow? It's good stuff. Very fatty meal. No, Frank isn't lying about raw meat because they can't get over their taste buds. Frank is lying about raw meat being ideal, and he doesn't focus on raw meat because he wants subscribers. He wants money. He wants your money. And you can't get people's money when you just sit here and eat raw brains and eyeballs on live streams. You know what I'm saying? You guys have always known that. Like, I'm not out here to like make a bunch of money. Like I have sources of income in my normal life that support my lifestyle. Any kind of extra money I make off this is definitely helpful, you know, through super chats and doing like consultations and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I really do. I like helping people mostly. But Frank wants money, dude. He's a young guy. He's trying to establish himself. And that's what I think a lot of these people are doing, like Sean Baker and Frank Tufano. The raw meat is undeniably better. How could you even question it? Like it's the original form that meat comes in. You know what I mean? That's the way God makes it. You're telling me that's not better? So these guys, a lot of these guys just want your money, dude. They want fame and money. And that's not what I'm after. I'm down with Bach. I was just playing Bach for sure, but I'm not really into the violins and shit. It's a little annoying. How often should I work out while cutting? I don't really know what you mean by cutting. What do you mean by that? We're talking about fasting. I wouldn't work out on your fast. The idea is you want to fast. What I'm going to do is fast for 72 hours and then eat for like 2 days, work out for 2 days, fast for 72 hours, work out for 2 days. See what that does to me. Raw bones? Yeah, there's probably some good micronutrients, marrow, calcium, and stuff like that. No, I don't watch Bart K. He's another raw meat denier. Oh, I see what you're saying, Twilight. Okay, I get your point now. You grind up the short rib so you can get fat in because you can't get bone marrow. It's not exactly bone marrow, you're getting fat. Gotcha. Yes, I love short rib. I love it, man. But I just cut it off with a knife. I cut it off the ribs with a knife, and I just eat it in little chunks, you know? Yeah, a lot of these guys, a lot of these nutrition guys, don't get deceived by these people, man. A lot of these guys have like spiritual problems, deep-rooted spiritual trauma that they're trying to heal through food and diet and stuff like that. You can't heal spiritual problems with food, man. Yeah, he's a mess, guys. Frank's a mess. He's almost like too easy of a target for me to sit here and talk about. You know what I mean? I almost feel bad. Like, I really do have compassion for the guy. Because once I started understanding what was going on with him, you know, the guy's got some deep-seated spiritual trauma going on, you know? Whatever happened to him as a kid or just whatever, it's really kind of catching up with him now. And I know a lot of people that's happened to, and it really destroys your life, man, if you don't understand where their problems are coming from. Some of these people think their problems are coming from nutrition. That's not the case at all. So I have compassion for him, you know what I mean? As goofy as he is and as awkward as he is, you know? Bart K is another one that trots out the raw tards bullshit. Can't stand the guy. Yeah, I don't really like getting into like. I like taking Vox Day's philosophy on this, even though I'm not the best at it. When people ask me what do I think about this guy, what do I think about that guy, I might give you my short opinion on it, but I'm gonna probably stop doing that just because. Here's the thing: if you don't hear me openly talking about and praising somebody on YouTube, then there's like a 99% chance that I don't like them at all, right? And I can tell you guys right now that I don't like 99.9% of people on YouTube. Not a big fan of any of these guys. So let's just leave it at that. I don't want to get into like a war between YouTubers and stuff like that. I'm doing my thing. They can do their thing. I have my own little corner here where I'm eating raw meat, and I'm going to integrate fasting in with it, and I'm going to show you guys how to get into supreme health, man. I've never heard of that Don Beer ice cream machine. Can't stop eating bacon, guys. Mmm. Wild rice. What do I think of wild rice? It sounds good. If you crave cooked starches, you can eat a little bit of rice, potatoes. I don't know exactly what's in wild rice though, but you can eat a little bit of cooked starches on the raw primal diet. Sterling says cutting fat, like I heard muscle starts going away after 2 weeks of no lifting. So what I'm asking is on eating days, can I have workout in a surplus and then have fasting days lose the fat? Yeah, definitely. That's the way to do it, man. Like I said earlier. Fast for 72 hours. Then do a refeed 1 or 2 times a day if you want. Eat as much as you want. And then do a workout in between or a workout afterwards. Real good workout. And then do another refeed the next day if you want. If you want to work out again. And then do another 72-hour fast. Or you can do a 72-hour fast, do a refeed the next day, work out, and then do another 72-hour fast, work out. You might see some real benefit from that. Why are there no raw primal bodybuilders? It's a good question. Yeah, Astra's cool. I don't have a big problem with her. I love the fact that she eats raw meat. Yo, Danny, what's up with the fasting shit? Are you going to do a routine or something? What's your plan? Yeah. The plan is fast until natural hunger, refeed, and then fast until natural hunger again. That's the way we should be eating. You should be only eating when you're naturally hungry. What I'm going to do, like I said a few times already on the stream, is I'm going to fast for 72 hours tomorrow, starting tomorrow after this. I'm going to do a refeed probably for 2 days. I'm going to do a workout on both of those days. I'm doing a combination of fasting and also training. I'm going to see if it helps out my training. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast for 72, do a refeed for 1 or 2 days, and then do another 72-hour fast, and I'm going to repeat that cycle. 72-hour fast, refeed, 72-hour fast, refeed. If I start to get too lean, then I'll do more refeeds in between. But most likely, I think what I'm going to end up doing is doing like a 72-hour fast like every 2 weeks. Because I'll probably get too lean doing those refeeds and 72s back to back like that. So if I get too lean, then I'll start doing 72-hour fasts only every 2 weeks. Go from there. Vince Garanda, I'll look him up. Oh yeah, I knew that guy. I've seen him before. I just forgot his name. Or no, was that him? Dang, he's ripped as hell, isn't he? Shredded. These guys are saying he didn't eat any raw meat. That he ate just raw cream and egg shells, free-range eggs. He had to have eaten meat. Low-carb pioneer. Promoted ketogenic diets. That makes sense, dude. The low-carb pioneer. Vix's definition diet was meat and eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and on the third, fifth day, one small carbohydrate meal. Isn't that messed up that this site right here didn't say anything about meat? These guys are such liars, dude. Look at this. Meat is... Okay, never mind. There's steak. My bad. Alright. I was gonna say, I thought those guys were like a vegan website. Vince regularly used cream, eggs, milk, red meat, and butter. Yeah, man. He was onto it, dude. For sure. Avocado, there you go. Did you guys know that green pepper is a fruit? It's interesting, huh? Learn something new every day, man. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry, my software does that automatically. It's pretty annoying. Alright. Back to dinner. Back to my vegan diet. Yeah, my eyes got better too on this diet. I don't wear sunglasses at all. It helps. Yeah, I don't sun gaze, but I never wear sunglasses, so the sun's always in my eyes. And yeah, I never have to use sunglasses. It's crazy. Never thought about that would ever happen. Have you ever heard the saying, don't be like a lion, tiger, or bear, be like a wolf? I have heard that. Have you ever seen a wolf in a circus? Yeah, no shit. A wolf would eat everything. Did Vince fast? If he was bodybuilding, probably not. Maybe though. I think bodybuilders don't do the raw primal thing because they literally don't know about it. This isn't really mainstream. But there's an argument that like eating a lot of carbs like spikes your insulin and all that shit. That can increase your growth hormone, or I don't know. There's just all that unhealthy shit can actually make you like bigger. Wes, you should try and get Andrew Graff on for an interview. I've done an interview with him one time before. Yeah, maybe I will. I gotta reach out to him. Yeah, bodybuilders want to spike their insulin. It's like an unnatural way to increase growth hormone. This fatty meal is getting me stuffed. West I know proponents of fasting emphasize Angus Barbary, who fasted for a year, but that guy died at 51. He even maintained his weight, but still died way too young. I'm guessing he had underlying conditions before that, you know? The idea is, you want to do like what I'm doing, which is like get on a really healthy diet for like a couple years and then start fasting. Or you can fast at the beginning. I've always fasted on this diet. I did a 10-day fast my first year. But a lot of these people that die young like that, it's not because of fasting, man. It's because they had underlying conditions. How about hench herbivore? How do you get muscles in a vegan diet? A lot of it's genetics, man. He's just a big dude, you know? There's a guy in this book, this fasting book. He lived to be like 110 and he was a vegetarian for like 50 years. I mean, he looked great. It's just certain people can thrive on just shit, you know what I mean? Like all of us, Cole is learning as he goes. He always adapts what he promotes according to what he studies. I think he might get into raw meat consistently eventually. I think he will too. But, you know, he is in Canada, and I took that into consideration, that the fact that he might not get into raw primals because the guy has no access to raw dairy, which is crazy. I can't believe you guys have no raw milk up there. That's unbelievable. Yeah, hench is probably juiced, huh? You're right. Never thought about that. Yeah, you're right. Someone exposed that a while ago, huh? I never thought about that. Speaking of juice, I'm pretty sure Tufano's on testosterone right now too, because he's looking like unnaturally big, you know? Like his muscles are like too big for his frame, like his arms and shit. And he started getting like more like aggressive and like emotional and stuff. Cole is off his rocket. He aged like crazy since he started YouTube. Let's check it out. Let's check out the aging. Oh, Hench admits it? Interesting. Let's look at Cole's first video. Four years ago. Dude, he has aged a bit, huh? Holy shit. Shit, man. I'll let you guys be the judge. I'll let you guys be the judge, man. Did Cole age? I never even thought about this, but you're right. He's losing all his hair, too. Wow, he does look a lot younger.
I'm gonna go slow because I don't want to miss any points here. So fall 2014, I blew my asshole out of powerlifting meet. Basically, I was trying to make weight, and I ended up sitting on the toilet with my feet on the fucking toilet seat in the squat position, trying to basically shit out nothing because I hadn't ate for 24 hours. To make weight, I was naked, spitting in a cup because I wanted to hit this double bodyweight bench press. So anyway, I'm sitting on this toilet, and I'll be down because the blood didn't drip down the toilet, and I'm like, fuck. And before this, I already had a bit of a bubble down there.
This guy talking about his butt.
I blew my asshole out to the point. Oh,
I blew my asshole out.
Video on the whole fucking internet.
His lighting is kind of off.
My ass anymore. I was trying to like just
Let's see if I can get one with better lighting.
Hey, fatty.
Damn, he's aged quite a bit, huh? Alright, so let's check out his latest video. Look at how like intense he is, dude. Wow. I never noticed that, man. This is why you gotta eat the right foods, guys. Dude, he almost looked better back then, right? He looked better back then. What's he doing, dude? What's he doing, man?
Down and fucking scribble the standing calories by eating more food. That
He's all this fasting and like mixing it up with like junk food. I don't think that's the way to do it, man. His skin looks way better back then. Interesting, man. That's such a good point, dude. Never noticed that. But I'll be damned if you're right. And if you're not right. Yeah, he's intense, for sure. Yeah, he eats everything. Yeah, it's a little bit questionable. It's definitely not the way to go. I mean, yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, I guess. But I think he's misleading a lot of people, man. By just telling you can eat whatever you want. Severia says exercise ages you. Do you agree? Everything ages you, for sure. Yeah. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Going out in the sun ages you. You know? You're going to just stay inside all day? Have you read The Brave New World? Written in 1932. It's about where society is walking towards right now. I have not. Sounds like a goodie, though. If you recommend it, I'll check it out. To afford the raw primal diet, do you recommend getting a regular job as a 19-year-old or to start something of your own? Yeah, maybe get a job for now until you can save up money to start your own business. But you should have a job when you're 19 for sure. He probably eats a lot of vegetable oils because he never cooks. That's interesting, yeah. He probably does. A lot of vegetable oils, you're right. Guys, we can learn a lot from him, you know? Not to judge him or anything, but we got to kind of discern what's healthy and what's unhealthy, you know? It's because he's too lean? Nah, that's his skin looked aged, man. And I don't think you should have good fat on you. I mean, when you start this diet out, you might want to get a little fat or whatever, but I think you should be lean for sure. Tom Brady's diet is mostly plant-based. It looks pretty good. There's some people that can eat plants, guys, and they can survive just fine. You know what I mean? Just because plants are not good for a lot of people doesn't mean they're not good for everybody. You know? Some people can digest them fine. I personally never had really any big problems eating plants, but I just don't crave them, so I don't eat them, you know? Minnesota diet fast until you find a store to loot food from. That's funny. Cole gave me the advice that cured my arthritis. Go to bed on an empty stomach, 100% relief. For sure, dude. Yeah, going to bed on an empty stomach is a good call. Oh, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Yeah, I have heard about that. For sure. Is it good? I think Cole aged because he's an angry dude. I'm telling you guys, life is so much more than the physical. We are not our bodies. Our bodies are just a home for our spirits. Your spirit is what drives everything, guys. So, yeah, there's something to that, man. You know? I've always been like a really chilled out dude. And I think that's a big reason of why I don't age as rapidly as some people. Because I'm just like really relaxed all the time. But anger will definitely give you a lot of health problems, you know. And you can say it's a show for his channel or whatever, you know, it's just an act. But it's kind of hard to act angry when you're not angry. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that. I can't do it. Nah, if you go to bed on an empty stomach, you'll be alright, man. As long as before that you're just pounding your body with nutrient dense foods. Definitely recommend Brave New World. Okay, cool. I've read a little bit of 1984. I wasn't too into 1984. It was a little, I don't know. I guess I knew too much about it before I read it, so it was kind of like not surprising. But Brave New World, I will consider that. Yeah, sleeping on fasting is some of the deepest sleep I've gotten for sure. Danny says, I used to not agree with you about how the spiritual affects the physical, but it's starting to make sense. Yeah, man. We're not our bodies, dude. That's why when you die, you drop your bodies and you go somewhere else because you're not your body. You're actually a spirit. And yeah, when you start to see it, you can't unsee it, man. Spiritual affects everything. Yeah, I'll just recommend fattening up, eliminate toxins, and have stores for when detoxes happen so you don't lose muscle. Correct, yeah. I recommend fattening up for the first couple years and then trim down, fast down. I'm starting to develop a nice little game plan here, but I got to go through it first myself. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and as I'm going through the process of healing, tell you guys how to heal as I'm going through it because I don't really know what's going on yet. But as I look back, you know, hindsight's 20/20. As I look back through my videos, I look back through just kind of how I felt over the last year or two. It's easier for me to develop like a game plan for what to do and what's more effective for getting optimal health and stuff like that. I don't get enough meat. Should I kill pigeons and small animals and eat them? Just get a job, dude. You're 16. Get a job, man. I've been working since I was 12. Get a job, save some money, and go buy some meat. I think the reason Cole is angry is because he talked about parents not hitting their kids being pussies. That's a little weird. True, I don't think it's just an act with Cole. I think he channels some inner trauma or anger into his videos. I think he's harming a lot of people, especially the women. Yeah. I've heard him say some shit about women too, and like, you know, everybody's got their problems, man. I'm telling you, like, you got to be really suspicious of these YouTube people, man. It's really deceptive. Because when you find them, you're like, oh, this guy knows his shit, man. He knows what he's doing. And a lot of them are really charming or they're captivating because they're really high energy, like Cole and stuff like that. But you got to just really figure out who you can trust and who's got your best interest in mind and who's actually. The thing is, guys, is Thomas Cowan has a great book on this that I just ordered. It's called The Fourfold Path to Healing. Guys, there's like 4 ways that you need to heal yourself. It's not just diet. It's like spiritual health, physical health, you know. There's a few different things that you have to do. But this whole time that I've been doing this diet thing, guys, I've also been doing a lot of spiritual work on the side, I guess you could say. And it's not something that I really like to talk about or anything because it's really personal and it's really hard to articulate. But let's just say, like, you know, God's been working on me. And so the diet thing is just a part of it. It's a part of his plan for me. It's just a step, you know what I mean? Like, but the thing about diet, like perfecting diet, is it's just the first step in many steps that we have in life into healing ourselves and building a foundation for a good life. You know, it's just a baby step, man. And to get stuck on diet and to get stuck on nutrition and stuck on fasting and stuff like that and just obsess about it over and over again and make videos over and over and over and over and over again the rest of your life about nutrition and fasting and blah, 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 blah. That's kind of crazy, man. Like, I expect my channel to grow into something completely different eventually. You know what I mean? But I want to get to a point to where I can help people on just more than a level of just diet. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you really heal yourself, is you start to get into the intangible things in life, you know? The material world is all an illusion. Do you think we existed before we were born? For sure. Is it normal to hear voices when you're hungry? It might be a little too hungry. You might want to eat, but I don't think so. Yeah, Vegetable Police is a great example, dude. Yeah, he's a train wreck. He's a freaking train wreck. And the thing is he's being deceptive about it now. Like, he started out being like a health guy, right? He's like, I'm your health dude. I'm doing all these health experiments. And now he's just like, hey, I'm a wacky, goofy guy that's almost 40 and like lives with his mom and shit. And like, it's like, what? It's not about health. I'm a comedian. This is a health-based comedy channel. Like, it's just, dude, it's so deceptive. Like, what is a health-based comedy channel? You know? The only way it could be a good health-based comedy channel is if he legitimately like made fun of all of us that had actual health channels, and that's all his videos were about, like making fun of us. That would be kind of funny, you know what I mean? Like mocking us. But it's not. It's him like mocking himself. It's kind of pathetic, dude. I had to stop watching this stuff. Joseph says you can't get a job. Why can't you get a job? Weston, what makes a woman righteous? That's a good question. Do we want to be righteous? We don't want to be self-righteous. I know that. But what does righteous mean? Let's look up the definition. I might be able to answer that. Of a person or conduct morally right or justifiable, virtuous. Feelings of righteous indignation about pay and conditions. Similar to good, virtuous, upright, upstanding, decent, and worthy. Oh, okay, yeah. I would say what makes a woman righteous is a woman that does what's right, follows the will of God, takes the lead of her husband, loves her family, loves her children, and just lives a simple life like that, and underneath the umbrella of God, man. You know, life is really simple, dude. Takes after her father's logical mind, you know what I mean? Doesn't act on emotion, acts on logic. Vegetable Police is... Yeah, dude, I had really high hopes for him when he was eating that raw meat stuff in Thailand. Are you religious? I'm a big supporter of God, big follower of God. I'm not exactly sure what religious actually means, and I'm not just saying that. I really don't know exactly what that means, but I do have a relationship with God. I don't go to church, though. But I do follow Jesse Lee Peterson's church sometimes. Vegetable Police is really creepy. I think someone needs to take care of him or something. Yeah, I think he needs his dad. A lot of these guys need their dad, guys. That's when you start realizing what happens to a person when they don't have a dad in their life. You'll start to see how all these YouTubers come about. Let's just put it that way, and then you start to have more compassion for them. Anyone develop fibromyalgia after antibiotic use around the neck, shoulders, and back? Can't say for sure. Can't get a job because my country's still closed up because of the hoax virus. Oh, really? So they're not even like all your jobs are closed down? That's crazy, dude. I understand. Can you look for something online? Like tech support or customer service or something online? Like customer service for like a hotel company or something, you know what I mean? Like where they just call you and you answer questions. Check into that, man. Email says I don't click on Veg Police, but I see it has 10K views in 24 hours. Who's watching that shit? Dude, it's losers, dude. I mean, not to be disrespectful, but it's people that I find myself checking in every once in a while. It's just like a guilty pleasure. It's like checking in on an old friend, kind of. You know what I mean? Like how it's good to see like a familiar face when you're just kind of lonely hanging out at your house. Sometimes I'll check in on Veg Police, or sometimes I'll even check on Frank Tufano's videos to kind of see like what his latest meltdown is, or just kind of what kind of wacky shit he's on. You know what I mean? But I don't watch it for information. Let's put it that way. Can you be evil but have a high vibration? I doubt it. Sounds like a contradiction. Sounds like you would fit right into Amish, Pennsylvania. I would love it, dude. I would love to become Amish. Sign me up, dude. The only thing I believe is unfair about this diet is we don't get to hear the fail stories. We don't get to see where people might be lagging, what shouldn't be happening. I try to explain that to you guys. Like just now, I was putting on unhealthy weight, you know. So I'm starting to lean up, and I'm not fasting enough. The fail stories, I think a lot of people are failing when they're like eating every single day all the time. That's a fail. But I mean, I asked if you're religious, if you're Christian, Muslim, Judaism, etc. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can safely say that I am a follower of Christ, for sure. So in that sense, you could probably say I'm a Christian, but I'm a follower of Christ, definitely. But not organized religion. I'm more of a Gnostic, if you wanted to label me. Gnosticism more aligns with my views than anything. Email says I lost my job and company closed after 35 years. That's crazy. Twilight, how to find a girl that's not brainwashed. I feel that I need to attract them instead of chasing, and then if they really mean it, they would actually change over time. Yeah, don't worry about finding a girl, guys. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to basically follow God's will in all of his right ways, and everything will be added onto your life from there. So start to just work, get a job, save up, get a home, find your purpose, you know what I mean? Figure out what your purpose is in life, and then a wife will be added onto you from there. But you shouldn't be chasing, you know what I mean? I've fallen into that trap a couple times on this diet where I started kind of chasing women and going on different various platforms and talking to women and stuff like that, and it's just because I'm not quite into my purpose yet, you know what I mean? I think I'm approaching my purpose in life. This is a part of it. But I think my purpose in life is actually like farming, and I'm like super far from that right now. Like I'm at least 2, 3, maybe 5 years away from becoming a farmer, because I just need to save up money, and just there's all these things that need to happen, you know, financially. So don't worry about finding a girl, chasing a girl, stuff like that. Just do what is in front of you every single day, and that is, you know, whatever's in front of you, whether it's working or if you're in school, which I don't really recommend school, but I would recommend just getting a job, doing your job, saving up money, get your own place, and then eventually you'll meet a woman, you know, and it'll work out for you. But doing what is right is the most important thing, because a real woman isn't going to attract herself to you, or you're not going to attract that kind of woman unless you're doing what's right in life, because women know what kind of man they want, and they want a good man that's doing right. Chicken Jar says, I'm going to give up milk. I think it's going to help with my gum inflammation. Possibly, yeah. Yeah, give it up, man. Like, I haven't, you know, I had some goat milk for a couple weeks, and it's really good, and it's hydrating and stuff, but I just don't feel like I need it. Yeah, exactly. Zona nailed it. I feel better without it, but every now and then it's good. Every now and then get some milk, but I don't think it's an everyday thing. In Islam, Jesus is a highly respected prophet. I too am a follower of Christ. Agreed. I also believe Jesus was a prophet. He was not God. It never said in the Bible he was God anyways, but he's a son of God. But yeah, he's a very, very respected man, and what he taught was profound. Big family living on a farm, absolutely. How's your garden? Garden's going well. It's going great. I got some really big cucumbers coming, like gigantic cucumbers, like that fat, like that long. Good stuff. And I have a gigantic watermelon patch in the middle. Those watermelon patches get huge, but it's in the middle, and it's just like leaves right now, like leaves kind of facing up, and I'm hoping the watermelons will pop up here pretty soon. Delbridge, why are so many women wearing revealing clothes? They leave nothing to the imagination. Why? Because a lot of women are sluts, man. That's really the only way to answer that one. There's a lot of sluts out there, dude. There's a lot of sex before marriage getting pushed out there in the world, and it's one of the most foolish things that you can do. I've seen a lot of my friends have children out of wedlock, and it just messed their whole life up, dude. They have partial custody of their kid. You know, it just goes on from there. It's nuts. They have no control over how their kid's getting raised half the time. It's an absolute nightmare. Their kid's getting raised by a stepfather. Just unreal, terrifying experience. You know what I mean? It all comes from having sex with someone that's not your wife or your husband. Or a committed relationship, you know what I mean? That's what I mean, is a committed relationship. Do you eat salt? I know Aajonus didn't recommend it. And also, do you freeze your meat? This is another thing he said not to do because it freezes meat. I do freeze my meat because I have no choice, because the only way I can get grass-fed meat is if I buy it in bundles. And I can only get like half of it fresh and I have to freeze the other half. Otherwise it'll go bad. Unless I want to ferment all of it, but I don't really feel like fermenting all my meat right now. Ibrahim, I read your message for you, retracted it. And to answer your question, real women want a real man. You got to understand the difference between a real woman and a woman that's basically in a fallen state. A lot of men and women are in fallen states nowadays where they get traumatized by their parents and their upbringing, and they start to, they don't attract the truth, you know what I mean? So that's when you're going to see women that don't want like real men. That's when you're going to see women that want like a little boy they can control, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Have you heard of anxiety early on the diet? I'm done day 15 strict and I will get anxiety, especially in the morning. Yeah, man. Look at my Instagram pictures, dude. My picture when I'm 30-day carnivore, I look like an anxious wreck, for sure. It's a little stressful at first, man. Just push through. Check out the channel. Evolved Ministry does aerokinesis and other skills by connecting to nature through unconditional love. Cool, man. I'll keep that in mind. Evolved Ministry. I do believe God is a creator, but I question the Bible so many times that I should not sure if I should really believe it. You should question the Bible because it's a man-made book. I wouldn't question the teachings of Jesus, like the stuff like that, but you know, some of that stuff you gotta take it for a grain of salt, as they say in the Bible. You know, and it's a man-made book, man. It's been mistranslated. It's been corrupted over the years. You know, look into Gnosticism. It's a very interesting concept. Gnosticism and Christianity competed. And basically modern religious Christianity tried to hide Gnosticism from the world. Women think it's empowering to kill babies. What do you expect? Yeah, some of them do. Not all of them, but some. A lot do, actually. A lot. Twilight, I believe in God because I was blessed so many times, but I question the Bible and all the rules. You know, the truth is inside of you, man. The Spirit of God lives inside of you, and He can show you everything that's right and wrong. So just listen to that. But part of honing that truth in is creating a body to where God can make a home inside of it. And part of that is getting on a healthy diet so that you can start having a relationship with Him. Yeah, those rules were written by men, but they do have some truth to them. Oh, for sure. The Bible has an unbelievable amount of truth, but you should still question it. You should still be skeptical because it's man-made of just certain things in there. Detox symptoms from going to a raw meat diet. I started a few days ago. I'm suffering from dry skin and keep eating acne. What are you eating every day? You have to tell me what you're eating. I also found my sex drive is taking a plummet. Why? There could be a lot of reasons for that, but you'd have to tell me kind of what your health status was when you got into it and what your diet is every day. But detox symptoms can be a lot of different things, man. From stuff coming out your skin to feeling just kind of lethargic or whatever. But I didn't really get a whole lot of that. My detoxes came in kind of intense spurts where I got like flus and stuff like that, fevers. My friend had a baby with a woman he met at a bar, and she got pregnant from that first encounter. The last 10 years of his life was absolute hell. Dude, I know someone that had that exact same thing happen to him, dude. They had a one-night stand with a girl he didn't like at all, and now he's got a kid with her. The kid's like, oh, dude, it's a freaking nightmare. Keep up the work, man. Thank you. Hey, thanks for the super chat. It's 2 in O, the numbers 1. Thanks for the 5, what is that, lira? Euros? Lira? Thank you very much. Thanks for your vids, no problem. My pleasure. Yeah, I agree, Danny. It's about leading by example, for sure. More sun equals higher libido, for sure. Why do you say question the Bible but don't question the parts in the Bible quoting Jesus? Because the parts in the Bible quoting Jesus, like, they obviously ring true, if that makes sense. But there's certain parts of the Bible that are just, I really can't come up with anything offhand that I totally disagree with. But I do question the organized religion, which is tied in with the Bible in a sense. So I more so question organized religion than I do the Bible per se. I guess I should clarify that. Because Jesus never talked about churches. You realize that? Jesus never said, everybody go open up a church. They took Jesus's message in the Bible and they created a money-making control scheme out of it. And that's what modern religion is. So you shouldn't necessarily question the Bible, but you should question people that quote the Bible too much and that push the Bible too much, because most people that quote the Bible and push the Bible too much don't have an actual relationship with God, and they don't know what it's like to have a relationship with God. They just have like an intellectual relationship with the Bible. So there's a lot of things to be skeptical about when it comes to like modern organized Christianity. But that being said, you should still be 100% like, not 100%, but you should still be a little bit wary of what's written in the Bible, because it was not written by God himself. You know what I mean? So that's why some things aren't going to necessarily ring true. Like, I don't know, like the book of Revelations is really weird. That's an interesting one. But all of like Jesus's teachings like clearly like ring true. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff is like, when you think about it, it just seems morally correct. And that's all stuff that is inside of every single person. It's not just Jesus that came up with this stuff. It's all inside of every person. You just gotta find a way to summon it. Truth seeker, I'm raw oysters, raw ribeye steaks, raw milk, raw eggs, other cuts of raw meat, and unheated honey. Came from a similar idea, but cooked meat and white potatoes, rice, and carbs. Okay. Yeah, if you're just new to it, man, push it for a couple months and you'll feel a lot better. You know, I didn't really feel 100%. Like, I felt better than I did on standard diet, but my health just, I'm telling you, man, like, you will increasingly feel better as you go, and it'll go to years ahead of you. Like, you'll be like a year and a half into this thing, and you'll feel better than you did the month before, and then you'll feel better that month, the month before that, and then you'll just keep feeling, it's like exponentially getting better. It's amazing, man. Just stick with it. Just have faith. My coworker has a kid from a Tinder one night stand. Oh my lord. Good lord, dude. Dude, those Tinder apps will get you, boys. Careful. Glad I deleted mine. Yeah, the pill does destroy women. It destroys their instincts. For sure. Women being in multiple relationships, oxytocin level goes even lower. I believe it, dude. My boss also legit just told me he downed 330 packs of Natty Light at the lake. He has a massive gut, I bet. Spain sounds amazing, man. Spain, and yeah, Spain sounds like a great place to live. Oxytocin production decreases for every new sexual partner. That's very interesting, man. Joseph, they took Jesus way too literally. Jesus said himself that he spoke in allegories. For sure, dude. Yeah. I think a lot of those guys might have been on mushrooms too. I've talked about this many times, guys. I'm reading a book on it as we speak. It's called The Psychedelic Gospels, and it's all about how there's like mushrooms and psychedelic imagery in all of the old Christian churches. They're trying to hide some stuff from you guys. I don't think these guys were completely sacrament free, let's put it. And it makes a lot of sense if you've ever done stuff like mushrooms. You realize like how tied in it is with like God and spirituality and stuff. It's very possible all of these religions and connections with God were inspired by sacrament use. Truth secrets that I removed the cooked carbs and ate raw meats, went through a stage of limp dick after I removed them all. Maybe try to integrate some cooked starches. Some people need cooked starches when they begin it. Maybe do like a cooked potato. Danny says, Wes, do you feel that your mental repairs before your physical? When I talk to women, show mental strength, I make them fall like crazy, but my physical isn't 100% yet. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Well, the thing is your mental is your physical. Your brain is a physical part of your body, so you can't really talk about them as a separate thing. It's more of like your spirit, you know? Does your spirit repair before your physical body? And I think they all happen kind of simultaneously. I don't think one happens before the other. But it definitely helps to get your mind in the right place so you can, or I guess your spirit, so you can lead your body in the right direction, you know? That's kind of the idea, is you want to get your spirit and your heart in the right place so you can train your body to become stronger, so it can be a stronger house for your spirit, and so you can like exist in a more peaceful state. And women are going to be more attracted to a healthy spirit than they are to a healthy body. Yeah, good job. Keep up the no fat. I'm on that too. OG Aesthetics. Hey, in Norway, raw milk is illegal, but a company has made raw milk with milk bacteria that's allowed for sale. It's unpasteurized and non-homogenized. Yeah, it sounds like raw milk. Sounds like raw milk. Go for it. Dell says, I never had sex in my life. People think I have problems. Truthfully, one night stands never felt right to me. Oh, me neither, dude. Yeah. Yeah, just keep going with your instincts, man. Save it for your wife, dude. You'll be a hell of a lot better off. Well, you gotta, if you don't want to be a virgin and you want to find a wife, then you gotta start leading by example and you'll attract the woman, you know? You gotta start doing the right things. Is it bad to be a virgin at 20? Nah. I've known people that were virgins till they're like 27 and stuff. Yo, were you able to eat frozen meat? I don't like the taste and the change texture. Yeah, I can eat frozen meat, no problem. It doesn't really bother me that much. Frozen meat does mess up some things like brain and stuff like that, but for the most part, you know, it doesn't really affect me that much. I can look past it. Truth seeker, I literally kept craving cooked potatoes, so that's exactly what I've done again. I'm still eating the raw meat as well as everything else, and my sex drive has gone back up. Yeah, just throw some potatoes in there, man. For sure. It's not a big deal. I ate potatoes for like a couple weeks. I don't really crave them anymore, but you know. JP says I'm not having sex anymore till I find my wife. That's a good call, dude. It's one of the best disciplines that you can get upon yourself. You'll be such a much of a happier person. I've been doing that for most of my raw primal journey. I have had some little slip ups here and there, but we're all human. But I do recognize it as true. It's true, man. God doesn't want us having like recreational sex with random people. That's not what we're here for, man. What's up, P. Miller? Master P in the house. OG says 1 liter is $7. Dang. Yeah, just drink a little bit every once in a while. I don't think everybody should be slamming milk like all day long and stuff, but just drink a little bit here and there. Joseph says, I think everyone does that when you go raw prime, when you want to settle down with one woman instead of fucking around. Yeah, and you know why that is because we're getting all those chemicals and shit out of our body. And all those chemicals and stuff make you over-sexualized. So you're whacking off all day and you're wanting to have sex with random people all the time. It's true, man. Aajonus talks about this stuff. And if you get a dog on a raw primal diet, the same thing will happen. He'll stop humping animals, and he'll only get horny when he's around an ovulating woman, you know? What's your thoughts on drinking blood? If you're butchering an animal, drink its blood, you know? There's nothing wrong with that, but I wouldn't go out of your way like some of these YouTube weirdos that are like obsessed with drinking blood, and like that's a little weird. But yeah, if you're butchering an animal, take some of the blood and drink a little bit. You know, nothing wrong with it. I've done it a couple times. P-Marsh, I don't think freezing brains is that bad because fat soluble vitamins aren't damaged. No, it just changes it makes it a little soupy. It's kind of a little different. Not too bad though. It's kind of subtle. Email, I heard from my milk delivery guy they have helicopters flying over Miller's farm. That's such, God, it makes me so mad, dude. Thank God I found a guy that sells a gallon of raw milk for $2. That's cheap, dude. Is it all like grass-fed and everything for sure? Yeah, frozen brains are just a little more sloppy. My milk delivery guy says a milk jar gets 4 gallons of milk delivered a week. Have you heard of the farmer Greg Judy? He has the healthiest animals I've seen. I have not. Is he on YouTube? When I started raw primal, it's the first time I laughed that I really wanted to have kids, and I was 20 years old. Dude, I'm telling you, this has happened to a lot of people on raw primal. They want to have kids right away. Randy says, friendly reminder to roll your windows all the way down and listen to Garth Brooks if you're out in God's country. For sure. I just downloaded a bunch of Garth Brooks yesterday. Cool, man. $2 is really cheap, man. I pay 50 cents for a liter of milk here in Brazil. Wow. That's cheap, man. Truth Seeker, I found a supplier near my local raw milk farmer who started supplying raw cream. Yeah, raw cream is great. Then you can start making butter. You can start making ice cream. All that fun stuff. Cool. I'll keep that in mind, that Greg Judy guy, yeah. I haven't gotten too into the farmers yet, like Greg Judy and Joel Salatin and stuff like that. I haven't done my deep dives on that yet because I'm not quite farming yet, if you know what I mean. But once I get into farming, I'm going to start ordering like all of Joel Salatin's books and like getting into probably people like Greg Judy and stuff. Yeah, not wanting to have children is a sign of malnutrition for sure. It has to be. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Poppy John? Hey buddy, hope all's well. Do you know what causes hair loss, thinning on this diet? I heard it was temporary. Not 100% sure. Just could be stress from just starting something so brand new in your life, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, It's obviously not affecting my hair at all, so. T. Muller says happened to me too. I always planned one child, now we have two and planning more and more. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I'm telling you, once you hone your body into something healthy, you start to follow your natural path, you know? On this diet, I only wanted to have kids. I could not stop thinking about getting this girl preggo. I know, man. I can imagine for a girl it would drive him crazy too. You should start now with salads, and there's a lot to learn. You'll be more prepared when you start. I definitely will. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 20. I got like 20 to 25 books that I have to read still. I just keep ordering books, man, but they're good ones. They're good ones. Once I start getting to the end of my 25 book pile, I'll start ordering some Joel Salatin because I know he's got a lot of books. Do different races have different tolerances to certain foods? Probably. I bet it seems like white people would be more tolerant to dairy because we evolved with it more. It seems like probably tropical people would be more into fruits and vegetables, possibly. You know? My cats go crazy in heat when I give them 85-15. Cats love raw meat, dude. They love that shit. Some of the most beautiful, happiest cats I've ever seen in my life were cats that were eating raw meat. You've never seen a cat in his natural behavior until you've seen a cat on raw meat its whole life. They're not these like weird, spazzy, moody little things that you see all the time in people's houses. That's not a cat, dude. That's some like brain damaged little like rat. Like an actual cat that is fed, you know, raw fish and raw meat and stuff like that. Very friendly, loving, always rubbing up on you, very relaxed, like very sociable. They're awesome, man. I think every race can tolerate dairy. Probably, as long as their gut's not damaged. You look like you've lost some weight. I definitely have. I've been fasting a lot. I'm down to 197. I feel good too, man. My energy feels great. I'm 6'3", and I'm right on the lower end of like a big boned person. I'm like, basically I'm a big boned frame, so I should be probably around, I'm guessing, 185 to 195 weight wise. That would be an ideal weight for me. And I've been all the way up to like 230 at some points in my life. Like I had no idea that I was like overweight. But when I look at my waist, I have this like extra weight on the sides and on the front and stuff like that. It's all kind of collecting around here. So I'm trying to fast that off and kind of go from there. Yeah, leaky gut, it sounds like a good explanation for why people can't tolerate dairy. Yeah, cats look like brain dead demons. Email says, unless you're locked into Nebraska, you should double that beard length and move to Penn Dutch country. Hey, I'm possibly open to it, man. It doesn't sound like too bad of a place to live. I wonder how the soils are out there, you know? Because I was reading Weston Price, and he said the eastern parts of the country, some of the soils were depleted because those are some of the most early populated and farmed places. I think Nebraska possibly might have some of the best soil in the world, potentially, because it's just right in the middle of the country and not everybody like settled here. So a lot of it's like unfarmed and stuff. So that's why I like the idea of staying in Nebraska. But I will definitely consider that. If I was to move anywhere, it'd probably be there. Randy says, I'm using cannabis till I get to the point my microbiome can get me high. That's the key, man. I used cannabis for like a year and a half on this diet. Danny says, I think guys your height and build are usually around 230, 240. Nah, man, that's way too big. It really depends on kind of how big your bones are. There's a lot of different variables. You can't just like throw a random weight on a height. You got to measure your wrist and stuff, and it's like if your wrist is like over, if it's like up to 6.5 inches around, then you're medium boned, and if it's like over 7 inches, then you're like big boned. But your wrist can be like way over 7 inches, right? And so that just means that's how big your bones are. And so it really just varies on how big your bones are and stuff. But mine are like, I think I measured mine right around 7 inches. So I'm right on the lower end of a big boned person, right? But yeah, 230, 240, you know, it just depends on how much muscle you have too, and if you're bodybuilding and stuff. But that's a big dude, man. 230, 240, 6'3". That's huge. Like, we could Google that right now, actually. Yeah, see, I'll show you, man. It's way too fat, dude. Here's a guy that's 6'3", 240. That's way too fat. See? Now you got this guy. He looks like he lifts a lot of weights, you know what I mean? I've been pretty jacked like that before. I wasn't. See, he's 220. I don't know if you can tell what he is. What does this mean? 225 greater than 240? What does that mean? Here's another one, 6'3", 240. Right? I got a kind of a bigger frame than him though. Well, I guess I could just show you my Instagram, dude. I'll show you my Instagram so you guys can see what my weights have been. Here you go, here's a perfect example. Alright, here's a 6'3". That's probably right around 200 to 203. And it looks like I'm leaned out, but I'm actually not ripped because I have some fat on my stomach here. This right here is like a fat deposit, and it goes all around my backside, and this is the same way over here. So there's like a little bit of fat around my waist here, right? And then if you go down, you can see where I'm at like 220, and I look just like a little big, dude. Here's where I'm at 220, right? And like, as you can see, this is actually like bulging out here a little bit, right? My stomach is big, dude. It's big right here. And if you could imagine me going to 230, 240, I'd be fat as hell. I feel better, probably 195 to 205, something like that. But we'll see. I'm gonna do some fasting, and I'm gonna check my waist out. You know what I mean? Go from there. JP says I'm 5'8" small boned, and my ideal muscular weight is 140 to 150. Makes sense. How'd you measure it? Just with a tape measure. I just put a tape measure on here, and then I put a tape measure on my width. I think it was like 2 1/4 across, and then it was like 1 1/2 down. So it was like 3 inches plus 4 1/2. So that's about 7 inches or something like that. Twilight says I wasn't breastfed. I was raised on soy formula. Oh man, I developed so many allergies that I can only tolerate raw meat. My bones are probably a joke. You need to eat colostrum, dude. You need to drink like a lot of colostrum because you never got colostrum. Colostrum is what trains your immune system. Danny says, yeah, but that's a sloppy dude. A healthy dude like you can be that weight and look solid. I have been that weight and looked pretty solid, but I was also lifting like tons. And I was eating like tons of fucking food, dude. Like, it's just not really, you know, I could be that weight, but why would you want to be that weight? You know what I'm saying?
What's up? What you doing? What are you doing, doggy?
Have you experienced any GI issues really? How your bowel movements okay? Yeah, my GI issues are fine. Bowel movements are great. Trump is 6'5", 260. He's 6'5"? Nah, he's 6'3". Hang on. Yeah, Trump's 6'3", bro. When I think about weight loss, is the skinnier you get, the more weight you think you need to lose. I bet at 220 you're as content as you are now. I'm projecting a bit, I admit. Yeah, I feel about the same either way, but the thing is first off, it costs more money. Why eat more food than you need, right? Secondly, the more I give my digestion a break, the more it gives my body a chance to repair other parts of my body. If I'm eating more, being 220, then it's putting extra stresses on my body, you know what I'm saying, for no reason. So you can't overcomplicate it, man. You gotta look at like indigenous people and kind of mimic your body after them. They were like super ripped and lean, so gotta think about that. Would people ever deadlift in nature? Yeah, possibly, to like, maybe if you were trying to lift like big logs or boulders, or you're trying to build something, stuff like that. P-Mar says, Wes, the BMI calculator says you're almost overweight right now, really dumb. I think I am a little bit, man, honestly. Here, I'll show you guys my stomach, dude. Alright. This is my stomach right now. I'm at 197. You see this? You see this right here? That's called fat. That's called extra fat, guys. I'm 197, right? Here's some more extra fat. Look at this giant fat roll on my body, dude. So that's extra fat. There's no reason for that. So if I'm at 197 right now, then that means I could probably fast. That's probably at least, this feels like probably a 2 or 3 pound chuck roast. This feels like maybe a pound or 2. I could probably fast another 5 pounds off and I'll be about perfect weight. So I honestly feel like my ideal weight would be right around like 192. But I'm not like fat or anything. I'm not like worried about it, but I'm just doing this as an experiment to see how I feel when I get like completely lean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't like that handle of fat. It doesn't feel natural. I never had that before either. Could be toxins deposit, for sure. Could be water weight, definitely. We'll see, man. I have cellulite that I swear won't go away even if I was starving to death. How to get rid of cellulite? I think Aajonus talks about that. Do you have a copy of We Want to Live? You should email me if you don't have it, and I'll give it to you. What's up, Snap, Crackle, Fizzle? Get down to 190, see how you feel. You might have to account for water weight as well. Yeah, that's my goal, is to get down to 190. I think when I first started this diet, I fasted for 10 days and I got down to 188. And I felt okay. I wasn't hungry until I got down to 188, so... I'm just pretty fascinated with this idea of, you know, with nutrition and stuff like that, we get so obsessed with eating. Well, what about fasting? That's like the whole Think about it, guys. There's the whole, if you didn't have evil, you wouldn't have good. If you didn't have the night, you wouldn't have day. If you didn't have fasting, you wouldn't have eating. If you didn't have eating, you wouldn't have fasting. These are two yin and yangs that work together, guys. This is like a huge missing piece of the puzzle. Bike ride every day for a month or two and that's fat's gone. Yeah, the other thing about bike riding is I realized that it ruins your ding dong. Look that shit up. That'll make you never want to ride a bike again. It like destroys your ding dong. So I'm not really sure how I feel about bike riding anymore. Because it compresses your like perineum, your nerves down there, and it like ruins your dong. So I ordered a seat that actually only supports your butt, and it doesn't have that like front piece going forward. So I might do a little bit of that, but I'm a little bit skeptical of bike riding now. I might just start sprinting and stuff like that. And Hippocrates actually even said back in the day that guys that rode lots of horses all the time had problems with women. Stop eating anti-nutrients, Wes. I love anti-nutrients, man. How much do you think you could get up to if you ate like a horse as much as you could? When I did that, I got up to 230. I was lifting a lot of weights and I was eating like Mongolian grill every day and stuff like that. Like 2 gigantic plates of food, like heaping every day. I got to about 230. Jeff Ton, you need to lose more than 4 pounds. I believe me, I have a very similar height and body composition. I'm telling you guys. Even though I look healthy now, I'm telling you, I'm still a little bit overweight, guys. We're so brainwashed to think that we need to eat all the time. It's crazy. If you reach your goal weights, fasting and feasting according to natural hunger will be an ideal scenario indeed. That's the idea. Is fast until you reach your goal weight, and then you start to eat based on natural hunger after that. That's the key. P. Miller says body fat also decreases testosterone. I wonder if there is a natural reason for that. Because we would have more fat in the winter, meaning less testosterone. Yeah? That's interesting. All tribes are lean as fuck, definitely. Does horse riding ruin your dick? Yeah, it does. That's the same thing as bike riding. It compresses your perineum nerves and all the blood supply that goes to your ding dong. I worked with a guy. The reason I know this, guys, is because I worked with a guy about 7 years ago. He's an older guy, my boss, and he was going to get surgery. And I said, "What kind of surgery are you getting?" And he goes, "I'm getting surgery on my dick." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What happened, man?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's from bike riding." And he didn't really tell me anything more after that. He's probably embarrassed to tell me. I can only guess what kind of problems he was having. So then I just never forgot that. You know what I mean? I never forgot that. And I kind of looked it up here and there and et cetera, et cetera. But I started getting actually pains like down in between my legs where my seat was. I would ride real long. Like, I'm going on long bike rides though, guys. I'm going on like 40 miles and stuff. Like over 3 hours. And I started getting worried about it. So I don't think I'm going to do that anymore with a regular seat at least. Wow, interesting. Joseph says, "Oh shit, I think I remember reading about a guy that did bike riding and was able to hold his ejaculation. And then when he stopped bike riding, he couldn't do it." Yeah, man. It does something down there. Body fat's related to estrogen. The more body fat, the more estrogen, less testosterone. That makes more sense for sure. Or that's like a more clear description of what's going on there. Never driven a car in my life, never sat in the driver's seat of a car. I lived my life on a bike. I had 2 hydrocell surgeries, both left and right, never went on a bike again. What's a hydrocell? What's that? I'm gonna look that up. Oh shit. A hydrocellectomy is a surgical procedure to repair a hydrocell, which is a buildup of fluid around a testicle. Wow. Dang, man. Shit. I'm ruining my ding dong. That's no good. Yep. I'm telling you guys, if you got that bike, I would probably park it. Truth Seekers is crap. I'm getting a motocross bike next year and I'm gonna have a messed up ding dong now. Dude, it sucks, man. It's the worst. You're gonna have to just ride it very sparingly. Go, don't ride it every day for hours. Probably you're gonna want to do it like maybe like an hour a week or something like that. Water accumulation on the testes. Man. There you go, guys. Another example. Bike riding. It seems a bit unnatural for sure. It sucks because I really liked bike rides too, man. That's hilarious. You're funny, Pete Miller. Patchy says, ride your bike standing up. I've been biking every day for hours and only bike sitting down for like 3%. That's a good way you can do it too. You could do it standing up, definitely. You could also get those bikes where you lay down, where you're like on your back. Like, that's why those guys get those bikes. I'd rather walk for 5 hours instead of bike ride. Interesting. I might consider that. I might consider just starting to walk. But you can bike standing up. That's a good point. That is a good point. Too sick, I feel better on semen retention, but others say it's going against your body's natural urges. What thoughts on this? I think for like super long periods of time, it's not a good idea. The idea is you just don't want to be like whacking off to porn all the time and like, flooding your mind with all of that corrupt stuff. And you also want to build up your kind of natural sexual energy, so when you're like around a woman, she's actually attracted to you because you're kicking off the right hormones and pheromones and stuff, and it's not all drained out from watching pornos all day. You know what I mean? Or just masturbating all day or whatever you do. Like, so the idea is you want to get your body into a natural state, build your hormones up, and it's actually like building up. It builds up like strength inside of you. So, but yeah, I don't think it's something you should do for like years and years. It's like, just do it until you meet your wife. Email says, never mind pressure on the prostate. Moving your nuts around creates the hydrocell. So standing doesn't matter. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Never mind pressure on the prostate. Moving your nuts around creates the hydrocell. But if you're standing on the bike, how would that move your nuts around? Some vegans eat semen. There's a lot of people that eat semen, guys. It's not just vegans. I think the guilt people get from porn is worse than the actual act. Guilt really kills you and drains your life. Not really, it's healthy, obviously, quite the opposite. Yeah, it's just unnatural, man. It's just unnatural. And you're flooding your mind with images also. It's like traumatizing to your mind. And it's like the guy said earlier, when you get a bunch of sexual partners, your oxytocin drops down. If you're constantly looking at porno pictures all day, then when you see an actual woman in real life, you're not going to get the same response in your brain. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like potent. You want to have like potent responses towards women so you know when to act. Biking while standing makes you build lactic acid in the calves. It would seem like it would wear out your legs. I'm gonna try getting this seat. I got this seat. It's just like a pad like that. It's like shaped like that, and you just sit your butt on it. You know what I mean? And that's what your buttocks are for, is for supporting everything down there. So you should be good if you're sitting on your buttocks, I assume. Otherwise, everybody would have ding-dong problems from just sitting on chairs and stuff, right? It's mostly that seat that like sticks through the middle of your legs. Yeah, semen retention will make your balls bigger too, for sure. So will eating raw balls. Wouldn't eating semen give you more semen? Probably. Probably rebuild it. Possibly. As long as it's raw. When you pedal, you tend to keep your legs closer and they get numb as you get squeezed and it builds up and then one day, boom. Ah, I see. So it's just the whole like pedaling thing. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, dude. Wow. I wonder if cowboys had this problem riding horses, you know? They had to have. Riding horses all day. This is where fasting comes in place. It rejuvenates those hormone levels and almost resets it. Oh, yeah. I feel great today, guys. Like, I fasted 5 out of 6 days this week. I feel awesome, man. I feel like alive, you know? Like, you know those feelings you get when you feel like younger all of a sudden? Like, you're getting flashbacks of like 10 years ago, 15 years ago when you used to feel just like really just, I don't know, energetic and young and stuff like that. That's how I feel a lot of days, man, when I do stuff like this. I've always had oily skin and blackheads in my T-zone area. Is that a normal genetic thing or a hormonal imbalance? Probably detox. I think anything coming out of your skin is detox, but it sounds like it's probably hormonal too. You know, I used to have those acne problems and stuff. My hormones were all messed up too. It's hormonal and it's detox at the same time. Because your hormones are overproducing oils and stuff like that. And also, are you using soap and stuff like that? You got to quit using soap and shampoo. A lack of hunger is a sign of toxicity. Primal Diet 101. Possibly. Makes sense. If a male was raised on the primal diet, how big would his gonads grow and how would his facial development be? Well, his facial development would be like chiseled, like a 90-degree angle jaw and wide. I've seen it before on someone that was raised primal. Gonads are probably pretty big. Probably some big ones. No homo, I gotcha. Probably fairly large, man. This is a little... Can anybody guess who this is? Any classical music enthusiasts? Guess who we're listening to here? I haven't used toothpaste in 7 months, shampoo in 6. Same here, man. I haven't used shampoo and soap in like over a year now. No toothpaste in over 6 months. Still got some sparklies. You don't need that stuff, guys. Yeah, you're just detoxing, Truth Seeker, man. Just wait till you get through this diet a little bit. You'll get super clear skin. And plus, if you're young too, if you're young, you're gonna detox more quickly and more rapidly and efficiently than someone that's old. So that's why younger people have more acne, because it comes out of their system quicker. That's true. You'll see Gota's son for sure. He's raw primal. Alright guys, I think I'm going to get going here. This is Chopin, good guess though. Mr. Chopin. I'm gonna get going here guys. I don't want to make these streams too long for people that like to rewatch them. So, I appreciate y'all stopping in. This has been a great combo. And I'll do another stream here very shortly. Bamboo toothbrush is great, man. I brush very lightly with it though because it's stiff brushes, but it works great. I just brush very lightly. But alright guys, y'all take it easy. Keep eating raw meat, God bless. You guys have a great rest of your week. Bye bye.